So the maximum range I can get in sports mode with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. I'm going to do this in FPV and see how far I can go. So hand launching kind of seem to do that a lot now. So I'd just about start 2 quick sector movements just to check it's all good. Okay, and now we set off. The camera's rolling. I think the clouds are a bit low than I expected here. It was slightly misty when you got up high, but I think the clouds were maybe at 200 or 300 meters, I'm not sure, but it did seem to be somewhat lower than I expected. So the Ferrying Beach, this Crown State owns the beach there, so you can actually fly large drones up to 20 kilograms, so down there, if it's not too busy either. So it's a little bit mist, haze. Speed things up a little. So there's a little bit of haze over Whirling. Hit the maximum height. So that's why it's red on the screen at the bottom. We get up to nearly 60 kilometers per hour flying down here. So it definitely looks like it's a little bit mist. I don't think it had any particular rain, actually. I think it's just a little bit of moisture in the air over there, but I don't think it had any actual rain or anything. I certainly didn't notice any. Coming down, I'm going to come quite close to my flying full speed. One of the things I notice that in sports mode is the drone just keeps on going once you take your thing off the... So yeah, at least 15 meters further on. Have it in a bit more detail. So yeah, it just does a kind of slow stop for high speed. So about 12 minutes 47 I got in here. See what the data says. So after doing the speed flight that's in sports mode, trying to see how much range I get in that one. It seems to be about 9 kilometers. So top speed was 59 kilometers per hour. Landed at 13% battery, took off at 98, and 12 minutes over 45 seconds. So total kilometers per battery was 10.63. Minutes per battery was 14.87. So it's about 7 charges so far on that one. Winds were a little bit kind of gentle. The strongest gust was 31.2 kilometers. Average wind speed 19.7, and most of the time I was in the high altitude. So the average speed. Okay, so for the most parts, more or less everything was functioning okay. There was a bit of mist and that high up, but I don't think it had any effects on the drone. So as well as doing this sports mode, seeing how far I can go, and the maximum range test the other day, I wanted to see how it compared to when I first got the drone. I did something similar. Here I managed to reach 60.1 kilometers an hour, going back and forth. Flight was 14 minutes and 43 seconds. Distance was 7,326 meters compared to. So I got more distance doing this kind of circle thing than I did earlier. The range test, I did 6,200. It's far less than it's actually only 20 minutes 55 seconds. So I didn't get quite, so it's quite nearly twice as far. So that's quite significant. So that's significantly less than the speed run, where this was 9,000 meters. Not sure which battery this was anyway, but so it's a different battery. So I used the same battery that I used so BY. .7EY. So that was the. So yeah, I did the maximum range with the tow. So both maximum ranges were with used the same battery a couple of weeks later, and I have 3 batteries. So it seems like I got a bit more performance more recently, at least with the batteries I've got. Maybe the main thing here was perhaps the wind. So the wind was average 39.3, which is fairly gusty. So that could have a much bigger effect in my range, because if I'm that was probably what caused the, because in sports mode it was more windy, or the average was a little bit less, about the same. Where here the winds were very low, so yeah, that's really the reason it was so significantly less on that flight than I did getting nearly double the range, was all to do with the wind. So when I was flying, what's the direction of the wind? So the wind was this way. Let's have a look at the, so yeah, obviously when I was going into the wind, would have affected the performance quite a lot. So I think I came like here, and so yeah, it's significantly, I think, affected the wind performance and range. Interesting. So that was the sports mode, of trying to see how far I can go, total distance travelled on sports mode.